All right, I apologize for the delay. Got it out as fast as we could. We scrape our data from Data Golf, and when their live leaderboard's not updating, we can't update all our stuff and do the regressions and stuff like that. But they finally got it up, and so I got it up. Right, you can still see we got to get our projections up. That'll be up by the morning and be loaded on the solver for all of you guys that do the solver. Also, if you didn't see. Hold on, I got ugly mic going on here. What are we doing? All right, sorry about that. If you didn't see, the tee times were announced. So here's the tee times. They're going off in threes off 1 and 10 tomorrow. The leaders will all go off from 1, the top however many, 39 guys, probably 12 or 13 groups off the first, and the other ones will be going off the others. That's going to be going off at 8 a.m. they announced. So that'll be 12 noon in the Lord's time zone. I guess that'd be, 1 o'clock out in Slapdick time zone. So plan accordingly, right? Go ahead and get your lineups reserved and know with confidence that the tournament will begin tomorrow at that time. Got it? So a little bit later, but we're also only going to get about 6 hours of golf, right? Because it'll take about 2 hours for them to get off everybody going, and then it'll take about 4.5 hours to play the round, right? So there you go. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing videos for these. I feel like the stone's pretty fucking self-explanatory at this point. Like, everything you need is kind of right here. But, I'll keep holding your hand a little bit. And I felt bad about the slow rolling on getting this out. If you haven't seen the Showdown, Hoedown, I literally had to cut the video because I was like, what's going on here? So, anyways, here we go. My big takeaway, the biggest thing I noticed is so many of the expensive guys miss. Pricing is super soft tomorrow, right? Look at that. No $10,000 guys. The most expensive guy is $9,700. Brian Harmon will be mega chalk tomorrow. You would think all these guys over 9,000 are going to be highly owned, right? If I had to pick, I would say Decky will be the one because people saw him rubbing his neck today, and people just don't like Decky, right? I think Russell Henley you'll get a bit of a discount on, and I think the only one you have a chance to snag at reasonable ownership is Tom Hoge. He might get above 10%, but I think he'll be right around that cut. I think it'll be somewhere probably between 8 to 12% at most. That would be my guess, right? Although it is difficult to project round 3 showdown, so you never know. But guys like KH Lee, JJ Spawn, Brian Harmon, Taylor Montgomery, Corey Connors are going to just be so popular. JT Poston, so popular. So, this is what I did today. Did very well today at Showdown. Almost took down that one, the 18 max. Didn't quite get there. And all I did was I just kind of, I picked my narrative, which was early guys, and I'm going to fade the 2 big names. And it worked out pretty fucking well. So that's what you really want to do. You want to pick your lane and go with it, okay? Now, my big thing tomorrow is I was going to play all the guys that were like -2, right? Because I figured they were going to be out on the course early and they were going to have the best conditions, but they're not going off in 2s off of the first tee. They're going to be going off 3s off of both tees, so everybody's basically going to be on the course at the same time. Matter of fact, if you wanted to try to find the guys that are going to be on the course the earliest, it'll probably be the guys in the very middle. Those guys that are probably around -4, -5, they'll be the ones going out first. So they might get 5 or 6 holes in the best conditions, but I think you're really chasing an edge that might not be there when you do that, right? From there, I put the Decky thing on there just so you know he was rubbing his neck. But when the fuck is Decky not rubbing his neck? You got some pivots, Decky, Henley, Mav, Svensson, Steele. These are guys that are kind of sandwiched between some really high-owned guys. So if you want to get off that chalk in 1 or 2 spots, I gave you some pivots to consider. When I put somebody as a pivot, if I'm telling you to play them, I'm saying, no, these guys are noticeably lower, and they're sandwiched between chalky guys. That's what's a pivot. Okay, a pivot doesn't mean they're a good play. It just means they're not the chalk. Put some sleepers down here for you. Aaron Rye, Aaron Baddeley. I just chose every Aaron is what I was after. Aaron Merritt. Aaron Nakajima. Okay, maybe I just chose 2 Aarons. Troy Merritt, Nakajima, Davis Thompson, Austin Smotherman. A lot of this could be bad short game. This could be coming off a bad round. This could be good ball striking numbers. There's a host of things I look at, right? And just because I make somebody a sleeper, please fucking don't go play him. I know I called Ek Goat this week. When I told you he's the Ek Goat. Even Asaqua, Akasol try to mush him. You can't mush the goat, you motherfather. And then the last one is high leverage. These are guys that I think will show up in the optimals much more frequently than they'll be owned. Old Cheesesteak Hoagie, Denny, all I can do is putt. Kurt, Kitty Yama. I think I'm Japanese, but I don't look very Japanese. Those are some good high leverage plays, right? Cash plays, I'm just playing the week-long donkey dicks. Harmon, Connors, KH Lee, Cam Davis, JT Poston. I think I even put. I'm really trying to get away from just putting like 6 cash plays on here because then you guys just all go make the same cash lineup. Any of these guys that are high upside, fuck that. Any guy you want to play in cash is okay. Here's what I would warn you against. I feel like when I'm making a cash lineup, I'm considering, did they just come off of a really good round? And if they're not a really good player, I don't want to play somebody coming off a good round, right? If who would be a good example? If it was Tom Kim coming off a good round like last week, I will play him again. I will play Sung Jae coming off of a good round. But I just don't fucking love playing JJ Spawn coming off a good round. I know he put it together last week. I just don't think JJ Spawn's that guy. And if he is, I'll play him in GPPs, but I don't want him in my cash lineup, bruh. That's just how I roll. You make your own decisions. All I can do is tell you mine. When you see people in orange, that doesn't mean something bad. That just means like I wonder about their upside, and they're definitely not a cash play, right? Any of these guys are viable in GPPs if you find something you like. You know how ownership goes. We've talked about tee times. The tee times don't really matter, and we don't even have them because round 2 hasn't even finished. So I couldn't put them up there even if I wanted to. You have what their overall event score is so far. You have what they did this last round, which is important to me because, like you see guys like, who's a good example? Brennan Steele shot 2 over today. He could never do good tomorrow. Or he could. Okay? These things can happen. So, that's how I color them. And anytime somebody shoots a big round, a -5 or better, and they're not, fucking John Rahm or Scotty Scheffler, they're almost always going to be careful, right? Just know that if you go play Hayden Buckley tomorrow, you're basically chasing a 90% outcome from him 2 days in a row. And if you're one of those people that says, well, yesterday's events are not correlated to today's event, so he is completely likely to get a 90% outcome as he is today. I mean, okay, I don't fucking agree with that, but okay, if that's your logic, use it, brother. Use it. I get it. Bad round regression, that is how likely they are to bounce back from a round based on how many strokes they gained today versus the field versus what we should expect, right? So a guy like Brian Harmon is a really good bounce back candidate. He had a very poor round versus what we should expect him to do. So that makes him a very good bounce back candidate just based on what he did today, shooting just a mere -1. He actually lost strokes to the field today. Short game regression is just how much, how good of a short game player they are versus how well they're performing so far in this tournament. So you can see the Hobbit's like checking every fucking box. I'm going to mush that motherfather. I'm going to mush him back to Mordor. All right. And so then when you go see somebody like JJ Spawn, right? Bad round regression. He just played a 99 percentile round. Short game regression. He's literally getting it all done with the short game. So if those things can continue. Matter of fact, if I can tell you one thing, when I was looking at the short game regression, literally 70% of people that made the cut are playing above their means or playing above their average when it comes to short game. So that tells me that putting and short game really, really mattered these first 2 days. So don't poo-poo short game. Just because somebody's doing good at short game doesn't mean that we don't play him tomorrow, right? Because I would say the number one correlated thing I saw between people making the cut and people not making the cut was who was picking up strokes short game. Okay, yes, maybe some of them were playing better than they're supposed to, but at least they're playing well with it, so maybe they could keep it going. Once again, interpret it how you want. I ain't going to give you a pick. Okay, if you go think, oh, he called that guy cash, I got to play him cash. No, I said this is a cash-type player, okay? If you go put KH Lee in your cash lineup tomorrow and it doesn't do well, I never told you to play him in cash. I'm saying he's a cash-type player. He checks every box. He didn't have too good of a round today. He's really ball striking. He has a decent round 3 historical. He's just kind of everything I want, right? I will say this about KH Lee. He is a little overpriced for cash. That would be a big warning sign I would have, right? I don't usually like to play guys that are overpriced for cash because the whole point of cash is we're trying to get the most bang for our buck. And please remember there's no fucking position points tomorrow. So don't think about, I got to get guys in first. No, you definitely don't, Bob. Okay, moving on. Price relationship, it's always the same. And then we just have the data over here, right? Total, ball striking, short game, off the tee approach, around the green putting for the event and the previous round. There you go, guys. It's all there for you. Sorry we couldn't do the tee times. Sorry this is getting out late. The projections will come for all of you sweaty tryhards that do the solver. We'll get those up tonight or first thing in the morning. You'll have plenty of time to make your lineups. We'll never leave you hanging. We work hard to deliver. Keeping it positive. I appreciate it. Even sometimes I get caught up in some negativity. I got to pull myself back and be like, yo, bro. Don't get caught up with these fucking toxic losers. So if I can't ask other people to do it, not do it myself. So good luck to you guys, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go make my big guy video, and then I am going to go put my own lineups together. And then tomorrow morning, I will have an NFL video out. So we'll talk to you guys later.